Welcome back, MTG Joe here, and we're going to be playing some Historic today. New season, I haven't played too much this season, so we are going to try to get into Diamond, potentially even Mythic tonight. And what we are going to be playing to start off is a deck I'm currently 5-0 with. It is Green-White Company in Historic. For those of you who are familiar with the Company deck, basically you're using Collected Company to pull together a bunch of like powerful 3-mana kind of tax effects. You have Arcan of Emeria, which makes it so your opponent's lands come to play tap, potentially, as well as limits one card cast per turn. So this can be done through something like the Phoenix deck. You shut them off that way. Then you have Elite Spellbinder that looks at your opponent's hand, exiles a card, and taxes it further. You have Redain that also taxes 4-mana cards, as well as its flip side allows you to have the shield that can soak up damage, or if they have like a lot of targeted removal, tax them an extra card each time. Skyclave Apparition can exile stuff, so good catch-all removal. Lovestruck Beast is just a big creature that can also enable Henge, same with Kazandu Mammoth and Land. We also have a One of Ronus to pump our creatures and kind of survive board wipes. Elf helps us go turn 1 Elf ideally into turn 2 one of these 3-drops. Then we have Luminarch Aspirant to kind of beef up our weenies, and Scavenging Ooze is Graveyard Hate. Also playing 1 Emeria. Most of the time the games resolve, you kind of pick apart their hand, you go kind of wide, and then just beat down in the sky with one of these flyers. Typically how I won most of my games. I think the record, I got a Doomscar up to like 10 mana with everything, so you kind of delay a lot of their effects. The sideboard wise, we have a Giant Killer for like the Gruul Stompy style matchups, a couple Baffling Ends, some Rest in Peace for Graveyard Hate, Thalia for a tax effect. I'm trying to have Gideon. Originally the deck had Elspeth, the Escape Elspeth, but there hasn't been as many rogues going around, so I'm going to opt to go with the Gideon Backblade instead. We have some Knight of Autumns as kind of catch-all flexible cards, Ceratops as a kind of, if we run into control, blue-based stuffs, and then Yasharn for sack, Gargaroth for aggro, decks where we need some life gain, and then Vivian as a card advantage engine. So we will try it out. We are plat tier 2, so we're closing in on Diamond. Let's play some games, see how it goes. Sorry for the delay. Sorry, my dog just popped into the room. She wanted me to set her up her blanket. Alright. Professional Magic player plays first. This hand's fine. So ideally, if you have an elf on one, you want to keep most of those hands. But I think this curve is reasonable. I think on the draw, we wouldn't keep this hand, but on the play, getting Luminarch going early is beneficial. Yeah, so sorry about the content. I got a new job for full time, so the last few days have been absolute insanity. So kind of settling in. I should be able to stream now every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. So guaranteed every Thursday night, and then still the weekends. Did opponent go AFK? Let's see what's happening, opponent. Don't necessarily want the free wins to start off, but I'll take them. This could be Temur Control. I was hoping more for Thoughtseize. So they could kind of mess up our curve here, or they can take the Ronus, which they'll likely have a hard time dealing with. It's probably blue-black control. Another land there is not great. Grixis. It's a good card. Let's see what's happening over there. Cling, Bolus, and other Bolus. I think we're just taking this for now. They're 3 turns away from this Bolus, so I can hopefully just push through a bunch of damage before then. this kind of stonewalls us. Game 1, we're usually pretty weak to Bolas. Actually, they draw Bone Crusher. The turn 4 elf is not really where we want to be. Archon of Emeria is actually really interesting. So I think we go white here. This actually slows down their Bolas for a turn if they don't have a basic, which Grixis typically doesn't play too many basics. Post board, we get Thalia, we get Gideon, get a couple more options. Remember, if you're going to be playing 2 spells, you want to play your Archon out second. So Collected Company would be nice here. Yeah, Collected Company is probably our best draw. So we delay this one more turn, which is nice. And then having like the mana sink, that's fine. So I think, given our board, let's do this. You have to do this pre-combat. So it's 10. So they do need to block here, otherwise... Okay, so... I could pump again, but I think we're just letting this damage go through. Would have got +2/2, +4. So no, we would have been 2 damage short had we played this out as aligned. Because here they can Bolas downtick on the Kazandu Mammoth, but then I could just pump the elf. I can just do this on the elf and then have that damage. Crux of Fate, creature. Let's do this. Get rid of Bolas.
Schemes have been foiled.
This lets me attack this turn. So even Bolas here doesn't do it.
The immortal Nicole Bolas. Your existence is pointless.
Got him. And that's what Spellbinder does a really good job of. Okay, so in this matchup, Thalia's for sure. Keep a Vivian in. Ceratop's interesting. They have a lot of black-based removal, so I don't think it's as good. Gideon's good. Giant Killer's actually interesting. Don't think we want Scavenging Ooze. It doesn't do enough in this matchup. 2 cuts. They're on Crux of Fate, so it's something to keep in mind. This taxes all their lands. Oops. Abby, stop it. I think I want these out. So that's 5, 9, 11. Stop it. Probably Ceratops, it can attack through, Bolus can't touch it. These aren't that good because they'll have a lot of targeted removal, you're not hitting much. So I think we go like this. My next door neighbor's dog is barking and my dog is pissed off at her. So getting that game where our hand was okay, not great. But really that's what you're trying to do with this deck. Just tax them incremental amounts. Just slow them down. We took away their turn 4 play. And then we took away their bolus, making it more expensive. We slowed their land coming in for a turn, so they weren't able to go bolus on turn 5. So just little things along the way to slow down your opponent. The Crux of Fate version's a little bit worse than the Languish version or Extinction event, because it could sweep up everything. Usually they'd be situational. Waiting on opponent. I think we keep this hand. We need a land and then we're pretty good. Let's try it. I'm actually gonna lead on this first. Actually, no, I'm gonna go Giant Killer on one. If they have the bolus, they have the bolus. I want to leave this open as an option to play as either land, because I think more often than not we want double green. Bone Crusher. So we'll buff up Redain here, I think is the play. Actually, it's probably Spellbinder. This is interesting. It's probably Spellbinder still. It lets me know what to play around. Heartless Act, Crux of Fate, and okay, so this can get pretty big. They're missing a land. So we can make this basically cost 7. So they're on... This is Jeff Hoogland's list. The more kind of mid-rangey Grixis. Actually, I probably should have taken Crux of Fate, because this only costs 4, so they can still use it this turn. And then I'm not beating Glorybringer. I could shield here if we draw a land, which is interesting. Actually, Heartless Act protects me. Ooh, Vivian will be nice if we can get down. So we're banking on them missing a land next turn, I think is the play. If we can dodge one turn, no land, we can get this out of range of the Glorybringer. Let's go to attacks. And I'm just going to make a reach creature here. So this will be Heartless Act, probably removing a counter. Yeah. What I can do, depending on how they attack, is... Okay, looks like they missed land again. I'll gladly trade here. Spellbinder's great. Glorybringer, Crux of Fate. Mean. It's probably Glorybringers. This is big enough now. I think given the reach, we thread in here. If they want to take a trade, I'm fine with that. So they could like Bone Crusher my Spellbinder. Wouldn't mind getting this Arcan down. Hey Void, how's it going? Sorry, missed your message. We are doing well. We are taxing our opponents. So I think we do Thalia. Then... this. This makes their land come into play tapped, so
and Decoria answers.
They can still Glorybringer this, so let's just make this as big as possible. And then I always have this as a catch-up, as a haste enabler. Got him. Opponents stumbled on lands, but we made everything they did or wanted to do cost extra, which feels great. 3 wins from Diamond Tier. Let's fire up another one. What have you been playing, Void? Find any good control lists? King Chainsaw. Kind of just want to get the Diamond 4 so I can play some brews. Luris can be a couple different decks. Rogues can be auras. I think against both decks this hand's fine. Play this out on 1. Opponent goes first, so hopefully we don't get turned on Thoughtseize. Yeah, I took a couple days off. Okay, looks like Arcanist. Oh, they're the combo. Probably just do this. This is whatchamacallit? Oracle combo, so we can lose as of turn 4. Thalia post board. If we could get an Arcan down, they'll have a hard time winning through an Arcan. Have you played any of the Jeskai in Historic? Croakies and Yellow had been doing well with it. So I'll probably Coco on their upkeep. That way if they have a counter or something. Kind of annoying. And sensor as well. That sucks. Next turn's Ronas and Ooze. The one-of deck that has all the one-ofs. I think it was still right trying to do that, because now we at least take down some of their mana. This out. They're gonna be digging. They haven't found any tutors yet. They did get to use Expressive. Faye will find him a combo piece. Got 2 creatures in the yard. Tainted Pact. So we may be getting comboed. Dane. We're looking for Arcan of Emeria. Just hope they don't have it next turn. For Wrath, they need an extra mana. They could have Oracle in hand here. Because they're doing this on end step, they're not doing it with the Oracle on the stack. Hey Remy, how's it going? Or Jeremy. Let's see if there's anything interesting in their list. So they have a Languish Extinction event. Okay, they found another Pact. So not quite comboed out. Okay, Oracle. Cards. So they can make their timers go out, but it doesn't really matter. We just needed 1 turn. Okay, so Thalia's, Gideon, Ceratops. So Ooze is largely unnecessary. Same with Skyclave. Vivian's decent card advantage. It's just a decent beater. We had 2 collected companies. One got censored, which was really annoying, and the other one we just needed our one of Arcan. If we hit the Arcan, they wouldn't have been able to combo off. I think the worst thing about playing this deck is just the feeling of getting got by one-ofs. Yeah, Historic Anthology is weird. So they spoil Vorinclex, which is an awesome, like, big flashy mythic, and then just Whirler Virtua, or the Whirler, like, uncommon, saw Fringe play. Okay, this sounds good. Come on. How do you have... Turn 1 discard all the time? This is going to be fatal push, watch. Jesus. How? Nothing like your one of deck being discard on 1 into removal on 2. That gets around Thalia attacks. Get rid of my henge. Right after I draw Lovestruck Beast, that would have enabled henge. Sweeper. What a curve. What a curve. A normal Temur control deck playing 4-ofs would want this curve. Might be getting comboed next turn. Nothing in our deck will require us to play this line right now. Make it seem like we have Collected Company. Turn 5. Bullshit. There's a chance they fizzle out, and if I get one of my hate cards, it works. It's just... It's a one-of deck. How do you have a better curve than my deck playing 4-ofs? Is which I don't understand. Like, you play 2 discard cards, and you have in your, like, opener. And then you have exactly, like, the key sweepers at every junction, every removal spell. Sounds good. Need a land, but... Looks like a mirror. They are on the play, which helps. Henge is a good mirror breaker here. Two turns at a land here. This is actually interesting. I think we still do Luminarch here. Just get this going. They could Collected Company next turn. I don't know what happens with Kazandu if it becomes taxed land. Okay, they get rid of my Spellbinder. Cool. I think we're gonna play big here. Hope to draw a forest. If not, we play this and we play out Archon of Emeria. It's a little bit of a non-bow, but I think if we could tax our opponent. Some good flips. Land's coming to play tapped anyways, so play the guaranteed tap. 5, 6. Let's tax them as well. Actually think here, let's just make this bigger. they want to trade 2 for 1, I'm willing to. Now they can start getting chunky. So do I want to play into Henge? Probably, right? Or use this to gain life. It's probably Henge. No, actually, I only gain 1 life this way. I think we need to guarantee the Henge. Do this. A lot of these games come down to who hits Coco. Them also hitting 2 Spellbinders. That's lethal. Yeah. Their cards lined up better than ours. Baffling End, Gargaroth, and Vivian. Gideon's actually not bad here. Scavenging Ooze doesn't do much. Also can probably cut Redain. Actually, Arcan's not great here. I'd rather Redain. Because there's not really too much taxing you want to do. In that sense, Redain, even getting the shield out's pretty useful. I think we keep this. Potential for turn 2 Spellbinder, turn 3 Company maybe. So I have Baffling End. I think we do this now. Or we're just going to collect a Company. Pass the turn. We could potentially ambush Viper them. So I think here I'm actually more interested in getting out the Luminarch Aspirant. Just because if this dies, it's not the end of the world. Then I think here we're just probably Baffling and Lovestruck. Could also just play out Lovestruck. Can do this. I think we do this. Let's tax them in the air. Take their collected Company. Get them that way. I think I'd rather the Knight of Autumn. Or would be Giant Killer. So Knight has the ability to gain us life, also blows up a Henge, but they only play 2 Henges. Giant Killer can hit Lovestruck and some other stuff, so maybe we play this. It's also not unusual for them to pump up some of their flyers, so we can get it that way. This hand is poops. Keep this hand. I think we do this. Alpha on 1 is powerful. Go Love Struck potentially on 2. It's definitely this. Skyclave and Company. Take their Company. Because I can Skyclave their Skyclave then. Also, this might bait them. We're still pretty far behind. Do this. I have to try to get this henge out next turn. Okay, Company. Jeez. Double flyer here's GG's. Yeah, that's how it goes sometimes. We saw these games, one player just really snowball. And then them 6 mana. Ain't gonna cut it. Yeah, we're dead here. We can play out the elf, but they went wide enough, fast enough. Tough beats. Tough beats. It's really like when you hit those sky elite spellbinders can just throw off like the entire tempo of the game. Give this one more, see how it goes, and then we'll play some Jeskai probably. See if there's any other cool lists that came out. There's also like that Is It Blitz deck that was pretty cool from Crokies. How's everybody doing today? Jeez. Opponent goes first. I'm gonna mulligan in the dark. Sounds good. I think we put a Company back. I want to be able to curve. So this could be Simic Stompy, could be Combo, could be Temur like Prowess. So Temur Prowess. Could be Temur Phoenix. They have the Arcanist here. This list usually plays Spell Pierce. So Thalia's a good card in this matchup. Arcan's a good card. Looks like Phoenix. Shocking in here. Crackling Drake and Pillar of Flame. Oh, I'd rather not deal with the Drake just yet. So it's like, is it, or Temur spells, so they're probably playing Abundant Harvest, stuff like that. We Coco next turn. So we give him another chance to draw Spell Pierce, which feels a bit bad. They held up Pillar, meaning they didn't want to just burn our face for 4 extra damage. Let's go Skyclave and so I can go Lovestruck Beast. I think it's Scavenging Ooze. We exile Arcanist here. Just get that out of burn range here. So here I can eat another creature, I can take out one of their spells. I think we're just gonna maximize our damage here. It's harder for them to deal 4 damage here. Crackles. Might be able to just kill him here. Tackle. This matchup, Thalia, Shifting Ceratops seems decent. Vivian might be too slow. Kind of like Vivian though. What do we cut? What do we cut? Also don't think I mind these. Might be on Phoenix. I don't think I want Rest in Peace. 6 cuts. Probably get rid of the Henge. Redain seems kind of bad here. Like the shield's not bad if with like targeted removal, but you're also playing 4 mana for that. That's a bit slow. That's not answering the board. Trim maybe a Lovestruck. Maybe no Gargaroth. Mind you, they can't kill a Gargaroth. 25 lands in the deck. Probably want to keep all 25. Maybe just a Spellbinder here. It dies to most of their removal. Feels pretty bad paying 3 mana to get bolted for 1 mana. Plus even the tax, you turn a 1 mana spell to 3 mana, which isn't huge. It's better when you can go like 3 to 4. Okay, sounds good. Kazandu's nice flexibility. This game we're using it as a land. Other games we've used it as a creature. Opponent is slow. Preferred if you were Thalia, but even Thalia in this matchup, it's good. So it's in the same group I just switched my coverage. So instead of doing like relationship management with like the bank's technology group, I now handle more like audit stuff and like compliance, which I enjoy. So kind of a lateral move, but it sets me up for future promotions. Did you finish school yet, Jeremy? Opponent disconnects. Did she study auditing, or is she just trying to do like bookkeeping stuff? Okay, if they're a dedicated faithless, if we see the Phoenix, then I'll bring in the Rest in Peace in game 3. So they did. Oh, almost screwed that up. So we'll go Luminarch here. So they can rip again. Killer. So they can either Faithless. Which they do. So next turn is probably Skyclave. On the Dreadhorde. Especially if they discarded another one. Arcan of Emeria is also gas. But I think we do Skyclave first. This shuts off like Abundant Harvest, stuff like that. The only downside is if they go Drake here. Auditing, so like I graduated with an auditing degree, but I'm not a like certified accountant. I ended up just doing more like risk management and compliance and stuff. Okay, so that gets out the Abrade. Pretty good value there. No blocks here. Okay, so I have options here. I think here I like doing this turn. Protect, and then I can eat whatever they do in the graveyard. It's tough. I've been doing this since like a co-op, like 10 years ago. Probably just eat their Arcanists. McCrackles. Here, let's get rid of looting, probably. So this is interesting. So I could Coco, or I could Spellbinder. Can make my Spellbinder big enough to block this Drake. I can Coco and try to find Skyclave Apparition. I think the safest line is just doing this. Pillar Flame. Just pass the turn here. I guess that's kind of silly because they could still Pillar of Flame for 3 mana here. But it takes up most of their mana for the turn. Gonna have to start gaining some life. So let's eat their Dreadhorde. So this gives me this option. I think we're just spreading around this. Need to try to race them here. I guess if they draw like Aether Gust, they have it, but can't do much beyond that. This is kind of a good way to make it seem like we're holding up mana for Scavenging Oozes. Sick. Let's exile you. Kill their board. Oh shit. Okay. Was not playing around that. Opponent debated me. Should have left the ooze. I forgot that they play. They have. So I can do this, but it leaves me pretty dead on the crackback, but I think this turn we do it. It does give him a pretty free attack with the Dreadhorde Arcanist. Maybe I shouldn't have attacked there. Because they named non-land here. They have the Suns as well. Be mindful. Yeah, I shouldn't have attacked there. Good to know for next game. I'm gonna bring in the rest of piece as well. They're dead. Is this Lava Axe? They discarded Lava Axe. Okay, well, I'm dead to a burn spell. Kind of annoying, their last 2 cards were double Lava Axe. They can opt here, try to find something. If not, they Anger or Sweltering Suns. keep on top, so probably a burn spell. Played sloppy here. I was so far ahead. They literally draw nothing but freaking gas. Okay, so we do want Rest in Peace here. I think we are cutting the Spellbinder. Lovestruck's a pretty good wall here. I think largely the Spellbinders can come out. Maybe Redanes we bring in. Vivian still seems pretty good. Trim one of those. With Rest in Peace, I don't also want Scavenging Ooze. Opponent went double Lightning Axe into double Blitz, which is kind of wild. Keep this hand. Arcan into Collected Company will be nice. Gonna play out one Kazandu Mammoth. Hold the second. Love to draw like Rest in Peace on turn 2. They are Phoenix. Do I want to play this out or just bait with this for the time being? Because they most likely have removal. They kept 7. This is a real good card. I think we go... This takes 2 cards out of them. I say we play this. Might screw up their mana base as well. Force their line to come into play tapped. I think if we do, we play Shield next turn. Okay, they have the break. Sequencing was wrong by the opponent. So they're gonna Phoenix us next turn. Yeah, it's a tough choice. Shield doesn't do anything. This is fine. What do they have in the graveyard? Nothing. Exile that. Double block here. I get hit by Spell Pierce anyways, so think we're just playing this out. So it's probably just getting this out of range for now. This is kind of hurting us equal right now. They play opt. Just get this outside of a burn range, and then we'll start pumping these up. Probably bring this up to 3. And then put one on a Luminarch. Takes their whole turn. Okay, we need a Skyclave operation here. Put one there, one here. Scavenging Ooze would also be nice. Coco would be really good. Elder Gargaroth. Nope. Best we can give you is a land. So they can have another spell. The thing is, I want to push through some damage. So this being at 4 power is reasonable. I think I need to keep pacing here. Okay, we've drawn enough lands deck. We've drawn enough lands. Okay, that's a card. You know, we only hit one, but it hit the one that mattered. Now we can try to close this out. Damn it. I can still block there. Don't really want to give him 4 power. Brainstorm. I guess I should have done it to this, but that gets around like Pillar of Flame damage. That's their whole turn. Second Drake's kind of annoying. Like they can attack in here. Rest in Peace doesn't do a huge amount. because they just cast this. Can we draw like Vivian's GG, Gargaroth's another nice one. I think we need to block this turn. Okay, so if I don't block, can I threaten lethal on the backswing? Make this 4. It's 8, 10. They have 2 blockers, so they're not obligated to. It's only 10 damage. I think we have to do this. Then drawing 3 Crackling Drakes really hurts. That also doesn't help. So they have 11 damage right now. 12. This is why the Arcan's really good here. Cool with that trade. Got him! Whew. Snuck through that one. Alright. Up a rank. So I'm going to wrap this one up on Green White Company. Gone for about an hour. We will tune into another deck. So if you're catching this on YouTube, thanks for watching and hope you have a great one.